Welcome everyone to Fantastical Reality, Nua Collective's third exhibition. A very exciting time for us as we're heading towards our very first birthday, having started on the 20th of November last year. So it's really cool to be continuing to show work and continuing to showcase new works by the practicing professional artists of Nua Collective. So this evening you will witness 35 pieces of artwork, or 36 pieces of artwork actually, sorry, because we've had a couple of later additions to it. So we can't wait to share with you all the different interpretations of our core concept, which is the fantastical reality. I suppose we're in a kind of a world now where everything is quite negative, and we're surrounded by COVID news and COVID deaths, and we're surrounded by lots of different political things that are happening. And I suppose what we love to do is bring out the positive. And so here we are creating the fantastical and showcasing the fantastical of our world, and showing that with just the reality. So a lot of the works that you'll see this evening kind of highlight a lot of the natural beauty of our world. They highlight kind of some of the more extreme side of things, and then also some of the opposites to that as well. So people who are looking at the vices of fantastical realities, and it would be great for you to take in everything and to enjoy the works that are presented by the artists that are featured in this exhibition. So Nua Collective has 50 artists on its books for this season, and our first season is just about to come to a close. So bear in mind that from December 2021, we'll be looking at doing a whole new season, a whole new structure and strategy to Nua Collective, which we'll speak about a bit later, and some of the ideas that we have going forward into an exciting 2022 for Nua Collective. So I thought I'd start off this evening with just a couple of statistics. I know that sounds really boring, but for us, it's quite exciting, because it's something that it was formed from nothing, and this collective. So we're quite proud of what we put together and the work that we put in to create what it is today. And so I'm just going to kind of go through a couple of statistics that I have. So Nua Collective, here we are. We launched www.nuacollective.ie in November 2020. And since then, we have almost 40,000 visitors visit the Nua Collective website, which is something that has been just tremendous. We have quite a growing number of followers on Instagram specifically, and our recent exhibition collaboration, the one that we did in March during the springtime, we had a sale of over 60% of all the works that were showcased in that presentation. For the entire collective, we have on our books, we've got 478 artworks for sale. There's 478 original artworks by our professional practicing artists, and each of those professional practicing artists, that's a tongue twister for you, represent over 18 different nationalities and countries around the world. And this is something that also we're proud of. So while they all have an Irish representation or an Irish connection, there's a far and wide reach of the different nationalities that we have within Ireland, or sorry, within the collective. We have begun with 50 artists, and we're hoping to kind of retain that number going forward. So it'll be a case of those who might not want to continue their membership this year, but in the new year we'll have, or the new season, we'll have the opportunity to freshen up our artists. Those who want to stay can stay, and those who would like to kind of move on and do it. There's a lot of we're trying to hopefully do a lot of different initiatives next year, so it'll be a little bit more hands-on. So those who do not have the time commitment, I suppose, because we're out of lockdown now and out of the restrictions, people have a little bit more going on that they mightn't have as much time to present into the collective. But it's great to see the 17 artists that are presenting here tonight, that they've put in such a great, tremendous effort into this showcase. The Fantastical Reality, much like the Equinox presentation, it's a collaborative effort in that we partnered together, we came together during through Zoom sessions, and we very, very supportively collected all over the different materials that we were working on. We researched together, we showcased different materials that we were working on together, and in a very positive and a constructive, critical environment. We supported one another, and those who were involved in the exhibition had supported each other in their progression and in what exactly that they were going to showcase for the exhibition. And also just from a point of view of reading what the work is that we're creating, even like looking at some of the works that some of the artists had created from the Equinox exhibition, they've sparked a whole new different angle to their new works and a new way of processing or a new way of building work. And that's something that they mightn't have had if they were working on their own. And I suppose when you're in the college environment, or you're in a kind of a studio environment, which we haven't had because of lockdown during up to kind of March, April of this year, it was very difficult to be able to kind of just bounce ideas off each other and be able to kind of just get that creativity going to the level that we really need to as creatives. We do, as creatives, generally create so much better and so much more interesting material when we've got somebody else to kind of just bounce those materials off. So with that in mind, I'd love to hope that you enjoy this experience and enjoy the different artworks that we have. I'd like to just re-emphasize that every piece here is for sale. So get those Christmas stocking fillers in. They'll be online about 15 minutes once we finish this presentation, so I have a chance to jump off and press the publish button, and you will be able to get them in time for Christmas if you get them as soon as possible. The way we work is we give the prices are included in the postage if it's a national sale, and if it's going to an international address, then there would be an additional fee added on, which is minimal, but it just so that the artist is not liable for that cost. So yeah, 300 euros, the kind of the ballpark of most of these works, and there's even a lot of them are quite less. So at that, I'm going to introduce us to our very first artist, and I just want to make sure I have my notes here in line. And first on our cards tonight, we have our Fantastical Reality exhibition, Caoimhe Heaney. So Carol has been with us from the beginning, and we're delighted to have her. She's a Cork-based artist, and she explores the relationship between humans and nature, with particular emphasis on climate change and its effects on the human psyche. Another Crawford graduate, Carol has exhibited in galleries all across Ireland and is currently doing 5 artist residency projects with schools in Cork City and the county. And this is what Carol has presented for the Fantastical Reality exhibition. If you go down to the woods today, you might find Rocco Voco, and this is the first of these pieces. She has 3 of these within her submission to the Fantastical Reality collection. And this is the second piece of Carol's submission. And again, if you go down to the woods today, you might find Rocco Voco number 2. Carol, I hope I'm pronouncing that the right way. And each of these pieces are just 300 euro. This is quite a new style of Carol's that she's kind of departed from before. And it's just really interesting to see how that has come about as a result of this process. sorry, €200 per piece rather than 3. Sorry, apologies. This is the third piece of that collection. You can see there's such different colorings in here that are fantastic. It's not down in any map. True places never are. And that's from Herman Melville. And at the end of this, when you go to look at her pieces and all of the pieces that are presented here today, you'll see the full artist statement, and you'll see an audio description for the concept and for the virtual or the literal response to each of these pieces, just so that we are hitting that box to provide an accessible form for everybody, and so everyone can enjoy this work, whether they have faint hearing, or whether they're blind, or whether they have any other impairments. This is something that we're trying to do to make sure that everyone is included in the collective experience. And that's work. Congratulations, Carol. And next we have Irene O'Neill. And Irene is a Dublin-based artist. She studied at the National College of Art and Design in NCAD and with the RHA. And she has exhibited across the globe. She explores the concept of environment, responding to the impact of climate change and the Earth's landscape. And so Irene has submitted these wonderful pieces to the Fantastic Reality exhibition. Firestarter. Again, just €200 for this piece. See those vibrant colors that are coming through. Just stunning work by Irene. The second piece is called Soft Smoke Behind Trees. Again, another piece by Irene O'Neill, drawing with charcoal and a wash watercolor paper. €150 for this piece by Irene. Firestarter is a graphic, colorful depiction of a tree reduced to a shape, with the warm, vibrant colors of fire also reduced to shapes. The smoke wafts through the forest is a romanticized drawing of a tree which has been damaged by fire. Thank you, Irene, for your wonderful submission. Next up, we have Laurence O'Toole. And Laurence is a sculpture and lens-based artist. He also does a lot of performance artwork. He's based in County Wexford, and his work focuses on land art, science fiction, literature, and film, astronomy, archaeology, and environmental concerns. With a master's from Cork College of Art and Design, Lar has exhibited nationally and has been awarded countless residencies and bursaries from Cowhouse Studios, Art Links, IMA, and the Leitrim Sculpture Factory. And this is what Laurence has presented to us for the Fantastical Realities exhibition. Or not. This is Totem 1 from the Unhaptic series. It's a digital photographic work. That's one of 3 pieces printed on Hanamulla photo rag paper, and it's just €300 per piece. It's the first. Again, this highlights the performance work that's created by Lar and also the photographic work that he engages with. The second piece is Totem 2, again from the Unhaptic series, and another digital photographic artwork. And finally, Totem 3 from the Unhaptic series by Laurence O'Toole. The anonymous character explores them tentatively with curiosity, ambivalence, and sometimes frustration. It is an avatar of the anxious, the alienated, and the discombobulated. The suit is like psychic armor, both impenetrable and reflective. It insulates from the outside world and mirrors what it contains, leaving him or it to blindly interact with his or its surroundings using curtailed senses. Thank you very much, Lara. And this is work by Luke Hickey. Luke Hickey is another Cork-based artist. We have lots of Corkonians here in the house tonight. He was diagnosed with autism in 2020, and as a result, Luke is deeply invested in matters relating to autism and mental health. And as a graduate of the Crawford College of Art and Design, Luke has exhibited widely and features in collections by the OPW and CIT. And Luke has created these pieces based on his autism, and also based on his reality. And this is his Fantastical Reality. Good Day by Luke Hickey, just €90, and it's oil paint on paper. Just a close-up picture there of the painting. And this is Bad Day, which is just also €90, another oil painting on paper. Fabriana. You can see the quality of the brush strokes and the heavy layered painting. It's just a beautiful quality, stunning mark making by Luke Hickey. I chose to look at the fantastical reality in terms of my day-to-day experience as an autistic person with sensory processing difficulties. The diptych of Good Day, Bad Day represents differing, contrasting experiences from sensory stimuli. Good Day is a depiction of what I feel is a good sensory experience, wandering around in nature, enjoying the views, the quiet, and the colors that sing blissfully together in the natural world. Bad Day is a depiction of the complete opposite. It is an overwhelming experience, crowded, busy places. It appears drab and sickly, with buildings looming over you and the noise of the city bustle reaching a processing breaking point. Thank you very much, Luke, for sharing those beautiful works. Now we move on to Caoimhe Heaney, another Corkonian. We're surrounded by them. Avalanche, someone might say, but Corkonians will strive on. So Cork artist Caoimhe Heaney mainly works with photography and chaining photographs into their own surreal creations. She explores themes of isolation and loneliness, creating new realms from her own creativity. A graduate of Crawford College of Art and Design, we'll see the beautiful, fantastical realities now that Caoimhe Heaney has created. The first is Charlie's Day Off. It's a hand-cut relief paper collage. It's framed and it's just €200. The frame is a kind of a white box frame, and you'll see that on the website. And just a little close-up of the parrot. And those little gems on the crown are actually stuck on. They're very cool. So it's quite a fun painting, image, artwork. Charlie's Day Off. Another little close-up there. That's of the butterfly and some flowers, some intrinsic detail going on there. The second piece is Cherry Grove Hotel, another piece by Caoimhe, hand-cut relief paper collage. Again, the same size as the previous, but also in a white box frame. And there's the little flamingos there that are nesting in the flowers and the big mushrooms. Very cool. A close-up detail of just the embossed or the 3D effect that is created within that box frame, which creates its own natural shadows. And the final piece by Caoimhe is the Flamingo's Garden, another hand-cut relief paper collage, and again, just 200 euros. Some great little surprises in these works. The giraffe, have to give us a nice cherry. And a little penguin. As you can see, you could just look at these all day and find something new. Great fun. The work aims to export the viewer into a new and curious reality, to awaken the childlike minds and their own curiosity. The juxtaposition of the normal in abnormal scenarios aims to activate the unconscious mind and widen the mind to new possibilities. The pieces are bright and fun to draw the viewer into a new reality. Thank you very much for submitting those, Caoimhe. And now we move on to Anne Martin Walsh. Anne Martin Walsh completed her MA at the Corporate College of Art and Design and primarily works with painting, photography, and printmaking. Central to her work are themes that relate to our natural environment. Anne has exhibited nationally, most recently exhibiting her solo exhibition at the Presentation Centre in Enniscorthy. And we'll just look at her lovely work. This series of 3 paintings are called Dust That Falls from Dreams, and this is the first of this. It's a mixed media on Fabriano mounted on foam board. And you can see she used a variety of different materials there. And again, just €300 for this piece. The second of this collection, the series. Let's see some close-up detailing of the work. And this is the third piece. Diving into a deep blue magical ocean, I experience a wonderful lightness of being, only to awake and find all that remains is the dust that falls from dreams. Thank you very much, Anne. And next up, we have John Keating. John is a Tipperary artist. We're finally going a little bit more into the Midlands of Ireland. And Tipperary artist John Keating studied at the Crawford College for a bit, and then he went to Trinity College and then Loughborough University and the Arts Student League of New York as a Fulbright scholar. John says that the human spirit carves itself upon the face, and I love to try to capture it on a second of its journey. Among countless awards, John won the Gold Medal of Honor at the Olympic Fine Art London, London, and most recently he has won first prize at the Primo Nazionale d'Arte in Bologna in the painting category with his painting, and that's a tremendous achievement that John has just been awarded. He's also just about to do an exhibition in March in 2022 in Florence in the House of Dante. So this is what John has provided for us all to see for our exhibition tonight. This is called Farmhouse in the Wood. It's dry point on Fabriano paper and it's unframed. It's just €300 for this. Keating does not mold the light to stress forms, but to give plasticity to the enigma of the vision and of man's memory. That's from Fausto Lorenzi. Beautiful work by John Keating. Thank you, John. We move on to Katrina Trufuma, which always I struggle to get out, but how? So Katrina is a Latvian native, and her work is political in nature, as is her existence. A queer feminist, vegan expat who lives with chronic pain, art as activism or artism, as we discovered during our very special podcast with Katrina, is the main motivation of her practice. She was awarded the Visual Arts Award at the Galway Fringe Festival in 2018 and has exhibited internationally and features in many public and private collections across the world. So Katrina has kindly provided us with this beautiful piece, which is just such an easy painting to look at. So calm, so colorful. Called Halcyon Days, an oil paint on stretched canvas. Just €120. See the quality of the work there. This on plein air piece was painted during one sunny autumn afternoon at the Lilup floodplain meadows in Jelgava, Latvia. I'm sorry if I pronounced those incorrectly. As per the title, halcyon days are characterized by happiness, great success, and prosperity. Golden, often used to describe an idyllic time in the past that is remembered as better than today. However, at the time of making this painting, I experienced such an invasive state of flow and delight that I felt a compulsion to capture it in the title, to retain this memory for future reference. Happiness in the moment, while painting in the open plains of a nature reserve surrounded by 80 wild horses. Blissful. Thank you very much. And now my own work. My own work is based on the emotional internal infrastructures, and the drawings that I'm presenting here today are all created through a compound memory of personal and cultural experiences. Every artwork evokes an atmosphere of space, structures, and their lack of that resonate an internal emotive archetype. I've exhibited in Ireland and in the UK after graduating from CCAD and completing my MA at the Royal Central School in London. And this is my fantastical world, and I just submitted some drawings. So this is Truth Beauty Study 1, a drawing of this here, pencil on paper. Just some detail of the detail. And the second. And the third. And this is a quotation from Terence J. McSweeney's Revolutionist. For we do not look now for what is true, but what is strange. Whence the exorbitant praise of much that is merely curious and shallow. There is no attempt to exalt the claims of intellect over imagination, but to wed them. United, they are supreme. Intellect without imagination is dull. Imagination without intellect is foolish. And that's my response to the Fantastical Reality. We move on to Letizia Lopreiato, and Letizia is a visually impaired visual poet artist from Italy. She's now living in Dublin, and her work documents reality through storytelling, exploring social issues, uncovering social injustice through her photography and poetry. Letizia has won numerous awards, and including the Artist of the Month by Cassandra Voices and the top 5 artists at the Ranelagh Arts Festival in 2019. And she has featured in exhibitions nationally. The first image that we'll see of Letizia's is also presented in the Photo Ireland Half-Tone Print Fair in 21 at the TLP. And this is the work that she has created. This is called A Liquid Solidity, and it's the first part of a 3-part film that she's created. And we'll just watch this 1-minute clip, which allows it. So, see the shadow.
Found each other in the mist of a winter sun. The shores of remembrance. Tears dissolving in laughter, like glaciers, thawing.
Yeah. Give me a thumbs up. You can hear me? Hello? No? Yeah, can you hear me? Perfect, great. So that is Letitia's, and you can see the video. I don't know if you could actually hear the sound of that, but you can hear the video and see that visual representation on the website once it's published this evening, for you to have a look at the first part of Letitia's work. Now, we're going to move on to Robert Jackson, and Robert is an Irish visual artist based in Scotland. He graduated from NCAD and DJCAD. His primary art practice now includes painting, printmaking, and emerging digital technology, including CN and milling and 3D printing. Robert is intrigued by the distorted elements of figuration, repeat patterns, and patterns from nature to investigate spiritualism, fate, place, and belonging. Robert has achieved multiple awards and has exhibited widely in Ireland, including and also in Scotland, being in the RHA, the USA, Austria, and China, and the RSA annual exhibitions. And this is Robert's response to Fantastical Reality. Oh, just worked for me. Thank you. Bright Whites by Robert Jackson. An oil paint on canvas. Towards the Light. Another stunning piece by Robert Jackson. Oil paint on canvas. These two paintings depict dreamlike imagery of different temporary realities. Bright white hints at nightlife, clubbing, blurred references to dancing angels, flashing lights, a vision of brief moments from a collective nighttime reality. Toward the Light is a glimpse of a dark landscape, devoid of people, but with distant city lights, a personal, unique, and momentary reality before the light changes and the world disappears. That's the work by Robert Jackson. And so we move on to Shannon Castor. Shannon is an oil painter from New Jersey. She has completed over 15 ultramarathons and currently runs 6 miles in the Burn. She sees running as a way to assert bodily freedom, to claim space for all bodies and genders and how they choose to exist in the world. Shannon has won the Gambian Paint Award for Outstanding Artistic Achievement and has exhibited extensively in Oregon, USA, and Ireland. And this is Sharon's response to Fantastical Reality. Astronauts visit Earth, New Mexico. An oil and panel by Shannon Castor, and 21 centimeters by 35 centimeters at just €300. Some little detail of the astronaut there. The organism to environment relationship, or an activism, highlights perception and how we make sense of the world, the situated experience that we are all connected to, humans, non-humans, and habitat. That's the work by Shannon Castor. Thank you, Shannon. Now we move on to Mairead Houlihan, and she's a graduate of NCAD. Mairead has exhibited in Carlow Arts Festival, Dunamis Open Selection in 2018, and at the RWS Contemporary Finalist in 2017 at Bankside Gallery in London. And this is Mairead's response to the Fantastical Reality. The first painting is a watercolor on paper called Drana Gate 1, just €150. Scale of watercolor painting. And second, again, of the same series, Drana Gate 2. To me, these old gates hold in themselves the fantastical reality of life. They are beautiful, handcrafted, and functional. They bear the hands of their makers, and these paintings represent a simple time gone by. By painting them in two different watercolor styles, I am carrying on the tradition of individuals making these gates, but in a totally different media. It's not a gate, it's a painting of a gate. The beauty and the ordinary, a fantastical reality. Thank you very much, Mairead, for your submission. Now we move on to Manuela Madeira. And Manuela is based in Ireland. She is a portrait and figurative painter, a native of Mozambique. She has lived in Tanzania, the UK, France, and Ireland. She's a member of Bank Studios and Easel Contemporary. Her work has been presented in Italy, France, and Ireland, and this is the work that she has presented for the Fantastical Reality. And this is Dreams by Manuela Madeira. €300 for this oils and inks painting on gesso panel. Just a close-up piece of this painting. Beautiful textures and colors come through. And now we move on to Alcalart, aka Robert Alcala Garcia, who was born in Madrid. He's a graduate of Crawford College of Art and Design, and he playfully blurs the lines between art and design, surrealism and abstraction, the sublime and the absurd. Alcalart has work featured across all Ireland, and this is the work that he is presenting. It's called Vinto, and it's by Alcalart, and it's €260. See the windmill. This is the painting of an old windmill in Spain I used to visit as a child during the summer holidays while vacationing in my grandparents' village. Every time I went up the hill to see the old windmill, I couldn't help but imagine the sails turning with the wind. This representation, this representation is my imaginative interpretation of the windmill using a spicy, warm palette and an imagined composition with the broken sail flying free with the winds like an old flag. And now we go to Saoirse O'Sullivan, who is another Crawfordian. She is from County Cork and currently works there as an art teacher. She has won the Bird Box Exhibition Award and the 2015 Wallpaper Design Award from Crawford College of Art Design. Her work has appeared in exhibitions in Ireland and in Abu Dhabi, and she strives to continually capture the true, vibrant Irish landscape using a variety of materials, but primarily using oil and acrylics. And this is her interpretation of our concept, Fantastical Reality. This is called Dreamer. It's just €275. And this is a close-up. Second piece by Saoirse, it's called Awaken Our Homeland. Again, another canvas with acrylic paint, satin, and a gloss varnish. It's a close-up image of that. Colors, the vibrant sky. And the final painting by Saoirse is called A Brighter Day. It's Saoirse O'Sullivan. Smallest of the three pieces. And it's just €158. This is the piece by Saoirse, just closed up. You may say from my work I am a dreamer, but I'm not the only one. As Vincent van Gogh describes, I dream my paintings and paint my dreams. Through my current work, my hope is to bring the viewer into a realm of vibrant colour, absent of presence, and striving for a brighter day within our home. Our final artist for this evening is Varun Baggi, and his work deals with experimentation, he has dealt and experimented with various different materials in his drawings. He primarily focused on the analysis of human expression with material value and surrounding space. In his artwork, dissolving contours of his repetitive moving hatching lines, which encompass the whole area of his space, creates a kind of mystery. It also represents the chaotic situation of this outer world. Varun was born in Delhi, and he later moved to Faridabad and the NCR area, where he was brought up, and presently works professionally as a young art practitioner for the last 11 years in New Delhi in India. And this is Varun's work for the Fantastical Reality. It's called Traces of Destruction 1, a mixed media piece on paper. This is it close up. Second piece is Traces of Destruction 2, Varun Baggi, a mixed media on paper. And the final piece is Untitled, and it showcases a two-piece. It's just slightly bigger. It's on A3 rather than A4. And this is the close-up image of that. Showcase some of the textures. My artwork's based on such consign of metropolis, which is very eminent for industrial undertakings. After an intense experience in this part of city, Faridabad, and love for nature, I perceived various different destructive energy and noise produced and is emitted in diverse spaces from these industrial regiments. That is our Fantastical Reality exhibition. Thank you very much to everyone who showcased work for this exhibition, and I hope you all enjoyed it. And as I said, all of these works, as you can see, are all under €300 and will be for sale on our website. And I look forward to sharing them with you in the next couple of minutes. So they will be on www.nuacollective.ie/fantastical reality, and you'll be able to get all of the work there. It would be great to see some lovely sales in for our artists for this Christmas, give them that little bit of a boost. And all of all of the work, as I said, will be on our website. Feel free to get in touch with us via Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn. It's all there. And we also have an array of podcasts that you're able to listen to on Spotify and wherever you get your podcasts from. So at this point, I'd like to congratulate all of the artists for their work and for all of their efforts in this exhibition. And I'd like to thank you all for attending this evening. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you had a nice little boost of creative energy, and that if you have to go home now and take out a pencil and do some drawing yourself, do it. Remember, creativity is for everyone. And I'd love to know if you have any questions or any feedback or anything that you'd like to ask any of the artists that are present here this evening. You're more than welcome to open the floor to ask a question if you so please. We'll leave the floor open for the next 4 minutes until 8 o'clock. But thank you very much for joining us, and I'd love to have you all back on for our next season starting in December 2021. So thank you very much. If you do not want to talk but would like to ask a question, feel free to ask it into the comment box and I can address that. Just a minute and we will sign off. And thanks again for everyone for joining us this evening. And we look forward to sharing lots of more art with you. So go check out the website www.nuacollective.ie, and we will post up a release when all of the artworks are put up via our social channels for you to have a look. And also we'll send out an email to our mailing list just to say that the works are for sale and for just to actually just enjoy. The recording of this video will be posted on our feature page for the Fantastical Reality website. And so if you would like to share that with your friends and family, do feel free to do so. I look forward to speaking with you all soon. Have a great evening and stay creative. Over and out.